I have watched every item guide and summarized what I learned from them. In this video, I will show you how to use every item starting with Stage 1 items, all the way to Stage 3 items. But I won't just be teaching you with boring numbers. Instead, I have summarized their uses to make this video as easy to understand as possible. So without further ado, let's get started. Firstly, we have Stage 1 items. These are the raw items that can later be upgraded to Stage 2 items. Now, you might think you can just choose any item in the early game, but if you could choose the proper items, you could gain an edge in the first minion wave. For mages, junglers, and tanks, boots are a must as the first item as you will be moving around the map the most. But for the X-Plane, if you aren't planning on rotating, you should buy Dagger or Mystery Codex first. As for the gold lane, you should buy Leather Jerkin or Magic Resist Cloak if you are at a disadvantage, and buy Knife or Dagger to clear faster if you are at an advantage. As for every other Stage 1 item, they are not that worth it in the early game. Next, we have Stage 2 items. These are the items that will be very important throughout the early to mid-game. Now these items will start having passives. Now these passives won't stack, so don't try buying multiple items with passives. Now I won't talk about all the items since most of them are not that useful and are only used for upgrading to Stage 3 items. The items I will be explaining are Fury Hammer, Magic Blade, Swift Crossbow, Azure Blade, Elegant Gem, Steel Leg Plates, Molten Essence, Black Ice Shield, and Dreadnought Armor. Firstly is Fury Hammer. This item gives you a good amount of damage for a cheap price. You should use this item for heroes that require a lot of damage such as Beatrix and Clint. Swift Crossbow. This item lets you stack attack speed up to 5 times, giving you a massive attack speed boost with a decent price. This item pairs well with attack speed heroes such as Argus and Melissa. Magic Blade. This item gives you a shield and movement speed when you have low HP remaining, allowing you to defend against burst heroes. You should use this on squishy heroes with low mobility such as Brody and Granger. Elegant Gem. This item makes you able to recover mana and HP when they are below 50% respectively with a cooldown of 60 seconds. This item should really only be used on heroes that build Clock of Destiny such as Sicilian and Alice. Steel Leg Plates. This item gives you a decent amount of defense for the early to mid-game. You should use this item when you are losing in lane and require more defense. I won't suggest any heroes on this item since it is situational. Molten Essence. This item gives you decent HP and allows you to farm minions and creeps faster. You can use this item on tank junglers such as Fredrin and Baxia. Black Ice Shield. This item allows you to decrease the enemy's attack speed for 1 second each time you are hit. You can use this item when fighting attack speed heroes with tanks such as Tigreal and Atlas. And last but not least is Dreadnought Armor. This item gives you a decent amount of defense and allows you to reduce the enemy's physical damage after being hit by their skills. You should use this item on tanks or X-Planers such as Atlas or Yu Zhong. Now I highly recommend you to not just blindly buy these items based on this guide, but to analyze your current situation to see if you need to buy these items or not. If you don't know when to buy these items, then it's okay, you will get better at it the more you play the game. And lastly, we have Stage 3 items. These items are the most important ones from the mid to late game since in this period most people will already have built most of their items. Now since there are a lot we need to cover, I will split the items into groups to make it easier to understand and explain items that have similar effects at the same time to keep the video short. Firstly, we have burst items. These are items that are intended to help you deal more damage. First, we have Blade of Despair. This item gives you the highest physical damage boost and lets you deal more damage when attacking enemies below 50% HP. Next, we have Holy Crystal. This item gives you the highest magic damage boost and gives you an extra magic damage bonus based on your level. Blood Wings. This item gives you high magic power and gives you a shield which gives you a high amount of movement speed when broken. Next, we have Lightning Truncheon. This item gives you mana, cooldown reduction, and a good amount of magic damage. It also lets you deal splash damage if a skill hits enemies with a 6-second cooldown. Sky Piercer. This item gives you decent adaptive damage and allows you to execute enemies from 4 to 12%, which scales based on your kills, but drops when you are killed. Hunter Strike. This item gives you a good amount of physical attack and cooldown reduction. It also gives you extra movement speed after dealing damage 5 times within 3 seconds to an enemy. Blade of the Heptaseas. This item gives you a good amount of damage and some HP. It also allows you to deal extra basic attack damage and slows the enemy after not taking or dealing damage for 5 seconds. Next, we have anti-tank items. Firstly, we have the Divine Glaive and Malefic Roar. These items give you decent magic and physical damage. It also gives you a lot of base penetration, which can also increase based on the enemy's defense. Genius Wand. This item gives you a good amount of magic power and allows you to decrease the enemy's magic defense after hitting them, which scales based on your level and can stack up to 3 times. Wishing Lantern, this item gives you decent magic power and also deal extra damage based on the enemy's current HP after dealing 800 damage. Demon Hunter Sword, this item gives you a good amount of lifesteal and attack speed. It also allows basic attacks to deal extra damage based on the enemy's current HP and stack lifesteal up to 10%. Sea Halberd, Glowing Wand, and Dominance Ice, which all decrease the enemy's shield and regen effects by half when you are hit or deal damage to them. And they also have these extra effects. Next, we have DPS items. Windtalker, this item gives you high attack speed, crit chance, and decent movement speed. It also lets you deal extra basic attack damage, which can hit multiple enemies with a 2-second cooldown. Corrosion Scythe, this item gives you high attack speed, which can also increase up to 30% each time basic attacks hit enemies, and also gives you extra basic attack damage and slows the enemy. Feather of Heaven, this item gives you decent attack speed, magic power, cooldown reduction, and a good amount of lifesteal. It also makes basic attacks deal more damage and stack attack speed up to 30%. Malefic Gun, this item gives you decent attack speed and physical attack. It also gives you physical penetration and briefly increases your range and movement speed after hitting an enemy. Golden Staff, this item gives you decent attack speed and physical attack. It also converts extra crit chance into attack speed, and after 2 basic attacks gives you extra attack speed on the next basic attack and triggers attack effects 2 times. Concentrated Energy, this item gives you decent magic power and high hybrid lifesteal and allows you to increase magic damage by stacking up to 12% and 30 magic power. Next is crit items. First is Berserker's Fury. This item gives you decent physical attack and high crit chance and crit damage. Haya's Claws. It gives you some physical attack, decent attack speed, high crit chance, and a good amount of lifesteal. It also gives you a lot of extra attack speed after dealing crit damage for 2 seconds. Great Dragon Spear. This item gives you a good amount of physical attack, high cooldown reduction, and crit chance. It also increases your movement speed after using your ult. Next is survivability items. These items allow you to escape death if used correctly. First is Immortality. It gives you decent HP and low physical defense. It also allows you to revive after dying with a 210-second cooldown. Winter Crown. This item gives you some adaptive attack and allows you to become invincible for 2 seconds, but you are suppressed during this time. Wind of Nature. This item gives you good life, steel, attack speed, and some attack. It also allows you to become immune to physical damage for 2 seconds, which is halved for non-marksmen. Rose Gold Meteor. This item gives you good lifesteal and attack speed. It also gives you a shield when you are low on HP. Next, we have sustain items. These are items that are usually used by fighters to stay in fights longer. Endless Battle and Starlium Scythe. These items gives you decent physical and magic attack, good lifesteal, and cooldown reduction. It also lets you deal extra true damage on your next basic attack after using a skill. War Axe. This item gives you good spell vamp and cooldown reduction. It also allows you to stack physical attack as you attack enemies, stacking up to 72 physical attack, and lets you deal 10% true damage at max stacks. Brute Force Chestplate. This item gives you decent HP, physical defense, and good cooldown reduction. It also allows you to stack speed and adaptive attack and gain control reduction at 6 stacks. Queen's Wings. This item gives you decent adaptive attack, HP, good spell vamp, and cooldown reduction. It also lets you gain damage reduction and reduces cooldowns by 2 seconds when having less than 40% HP, and it also increases your damage the lower your HP is. Next, we have healing items. These are items that either help in healing yourself or your teammates. Oracle. This item gives you decent HP, physical defense, magic defense, and good cooldown reduction. It also increases received healing and shield effects. Flask of the Oasis. This item gives you decent magic power, some HP, and good cooldown reduction. It also increases healing effect and grants a shield and reduces cooldown to allies with low HP when healed. Guardian Helmet. This item gives you the highest HP boost, increases HP regen, and allows you to heal 2.5% max HP each second when not in combat. Miscellaneous items. These are items that I couldn't fit in any other category. First is Clock of Destiny. This item gives you mana, some HP, and good cooldown reduction. It also allows you to stack hybrid defense after dealing magic damage to enemies. It also lets you recover 15% HP and mana when they are below 50%. Fleeting Time. This item gives you high cooldown reduction, some adaptive attack, and HP. It also allows you to reduce your ult cooldown after getting a kill or assist. Enchanted Talisman. This item gives you the highest cooldown reduction, and some magic power. It also regenerates your mana very quickly and increases max cooldown reduction by 5%. Ice Queen Wand. This item gives you decent magic power, movement speed, some HP, and good spell vamp. It will also slow enemies that your skills hit up to 30%. And the last category is tank items. These are items that are usually only used by tanks or other frontline heroes. First is Radiant Armor. This item gives you good HP, magic defense, and regen. It also allows you to stack magic defense after taking magic damage. Antique Cuirass. This item gives you good HP, physical defense, and some regen. It also allows you to reduce the enemy's physical damage after being hit by their skills. Twilight Armor. This item gives you high HP and some physical defense. It also allows you to reduce excess damage taken above 500 with the damage reduction scaling based on your total HP. Cursed Helmet. This item gives you high HP, decent magic defense. It also allows you to kill creeps and minions more quickly and reduce the enemy's hybrid defense when standing close to them. Thunderbelt. This item gives you good HP, decent magic and physical defense, and decent movement speed. It also allows you to deal extra basic attack damage and stack hybrid defense if it hits an enemy every 4 seconds. Athena's Shield. This item gives you good HP and magic defense. It also gives you magic damage reduction after taking magic damage for 3 seconds. And last but not least is Blade Armor. This item gives you crit damage reduction and the highest physical defense in the game. It also allows you to deal some of the basic attack damage you take back to the enemy and briefly slow them. That's all for today's video. If you want more videos like this, make sure to subscribe since it helps me out a ton. And if you liked this video, then you should watch this one next.